and welcome to DJ's Movie Reviews. I do short movie reviews for people with short attention spans. Be sure to subscribe, like, hit that bell icon so that you can get notified every time I release new content, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and give me your suggestions on upcoming movie reviews. Today's movie is the Poughkeepsie Tapes. This movie was directed by John Erick Dowdle, who is no stranger to directing horror movies with such films under his belt as Quarantine and As Above, So Below. This movie stars Stacy Chbosky from The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Ben Messmer from Bold Native, Samantha Robson from A Good Year, Ivar Brogger from Martyrs, Lou George from The Last Tycoon, Amy Lydon from The House That Jack Built, and Ron Harper from The Odd Couple 2. Here's the plot. In an abandoned house in Poughkeepsie, New York, murder investigators uncover hundreds of tapes showing decades of a serial killer's work. Here's what I think. A news report showing a funeral procession going to a grave starts the movie. The person being buried was a victim of a serial killer that is finally being laid to rest. However, after everyone is gone home and the cemetery is closed, a man enters armed with a shovel to dig the body up. He steals the corpse, and on this morbid journey we go. This is a mockumentary horror film about a serial killer who kept videotapes of all of his kidnappings, rapes, tortures, and murder victims. They chronicle how he got started by kidnapping children and killing them, then progressed to couples that he had duped into giving him rides, and he finally focused in on women. He was very good at tricking the general public into a false sense of security by murdering prostitutes and vagrants, which made regular people think that the target was the bottom of the barrel. His plan worked, though, and he was able to kill others by changing the way he killed different people. Since a majority of this film is going over the videotapes found at the killer's house, there is a lot of grainy video of women being beaten, victims being dismembered, and others being psychologically assaulted with random items and eventually murdered. These scenes are very disturbing and make the movie difficult to watch. Although this movie is centered around the killer, the other spotlight is given to a victim that he let live. This victim was abducted and broken down mentally and physically into believing that the killer was her master and that she was his slave. As we move on through the movie itself, I have a few gripes. There was some bad acting by some of the law enforcement in the film that makes it look like they don't have any emotion, like they're reading off of a cue card. In other areas, the props didn't look realistic and the makeup was very amateur. If you set all of that aside and buy into the movie as a statement of fact, then you begin to feel, anxious. Your heart begins to race and you feel unclean, very dirty. It is like accidentally hitting the watch button in a dark web snuff film. You try to look away, but you're drawn in by the screams and absolute terror of the moment, hoping that what you're seeing isn't real, until it is real. If you have ever been sexually assaulted, raped, or beaten, then this movie could cause triggers that'll bring back those memories. The subject matter is very uncomfortable, to say the least, and should only be watched knowing that there will be some things that cannot be unseen. If you're a fan of true crime, serial killers, extreme horror, and PTSD, then you may like this movie, but know that it is very disturbing. I cannot repeat that enough. It is a very disturbing movie. A little quote for you, just in case you don't think that I'm serious about this. Sometimes I realize that a man is much scarier than any monster that can be made in Hollywood. But this is a movie, and I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5 stars. So if you like what you heard today, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notifications icon so that you can get updates whenever I release new content, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this movie, or any movie that I have already put out, or any movie that you think I should put out a review for. Thank you very much for listening or watching this video. I look forward to hearing your comments from DJ's Movie Reviews. Thank you for listening. Have a great night.